I like to view cageamateursuk.com.
We're with Brian Dossett, Steve Dossett's dad.
Why?
You've, I mean, when it comes to CVs in MMA, any martial arts, I mean, your CV's got to be longer than anyone's. Is that right? I mean,
Well, I've been doing it for a long time now. I mean, I'm 72 now and I still fight, but not fight hard, just fight for charity for the kids. So I still keep myself in trim. I started when I was 5. And
68, 67
yeah,
years?
so back in the 50s, you know what I mean? So it's all the, you know, what I've done now. I've done boxing, I've done me judo when I was 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, youngster, and went in the Merchant Navy and come out, and I am what I am today, thanks to my students.
Yeah. Obviously you need students to
Oh, you
run
need,
the class,
yeah.
How do you feel about Steve? Because he's obviously taken after you in the fight.
Well, Steve is a much better fighter than I used to be. In my days, it wasn't the skill and the talent and the technical requirements you need today in the fight game.
It wasn't necessary then though, because MMA wasn't. It's only been
It
sort
was.
of like, really.
Oh yeah. I mean MMA. To be honest with you, not when I say MMA, the cage fighting, that's not new. We did this in the British Jiu-Jitsu Association many years ago. When there was no ring, there was no cage, it was just a body of people surrounding you, and 2 guys went in, 2 men walked in, 1 man walked out.
Yeah.
And that was years ago. There was no rules and regulations then, so I mean it's got much more controlled now, much more safer.
Right. So,
In my days it wasn't safe.
Bill, what's your obviously?
Brian.
Brian. Sorry, I keep.
I don't mind being called Bill.
Brian, can you tell us all your qualifications? Because I mean.
Oh dear. My qualifications, rather than going into all my qualifications, because there's so many, I would just really fold it all up in a nutshell and say qualifications is nothing if you haven't got the experience to support it. I've known there's a lot of people that have got qualifications stuck up on the wall, all decorated all nicely, but can they do what the qualification says? And I say no, they can't, because I've seen it I've seen first aiders get a first aid certificate and walk away, and they still wouldn't know what to do.
No, I mean.
And my thing, which I'm trying to do now, in actual fact, at my age, is I'm saying that there should be a diploma, a qualification for experience.
Yeah, because obviously you can't buy experience.
Can't buy experience. I mean, I've got a lot of experience, but I've got a lot of qualifications, but my experience will always be up there when I'm working.
So Steve was telling us you've got your Dan in something as well.
I've got 10th Dan in Jiu-Jitsu. I've got 8th Dan in karate. I've got 7th Dan in kickboxing. But they mean nothing.
Right.
It's just a piece of paper that other people honour you with. You accept them or you reject them. And it's ridiculous, because if you reject them, it means you're insulting the people that give them to you. But I always try to say, well, I am what I am. And kids and adults come up to me and say, what grade are you? And I always say to them, well, I'm whatever grade you want me to be.
Yeah.
That's the answer I give them.
What keeps you going? I mean, you're 70. Do you not want to sit back?
What
now
keeps
and
me
enjoy
going is,
life?
well, I've got 5 children. Stephen's one of them. I've got 14 grandchildren. And I've got 12 great-grandchildren. And I now compete and fight for the Children's Hospice. And the reason is because the real fighters are the people that have got their children in the hospital, and they might not even see their 13th or 12th or 10th birthday. And when you get little Linda saying to her brother bedside and says, Tommy, when I die, will it hurt? Or, Linda, when I die, will you still be able to text me? And you know they're going to die. Now, they're the fighters, those kids and their families. So all I can do now, because I've got, I wouldn't know, I don't think I could cope like that, like the families that I've seen cope. If any of my grandchildren or children went through work and everything. That's why I fight for the kids' hospice, for that reason. That's what keeps me going.
Right, okay, so it's obviously you're quite
It's the
passionate
kids.
about
Oh,
the kids'
yeah,
hospice.
I'll keep going. I'll fight until the kids, until I drop, you know what I mean?
Do you go
And when
there
I
a
say
lot?
fight, I don't mean fight full contact like we're seeing tonight. I mean, those days are gone. I'm not even sure for that. But, I'll give what what comes.
Do you go to the hospices where the kids are?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you been to yet?
Yeah, and
regularly?
I always say to people, when you feel sorry for yourself, come with me and say nothing. We just walk into the ward, walk through the ward and out the ward, and all you've got to do is exercise your neck and look left and look right, and then you won't feel sorry for yourself.
So a lot of people who have got families, you know, there's nothing wrong. So people should enjoy life a bit more, shouldn't they? When you've got kids like this.
There's too many battles and wars around us. Why have it on your own doorstep?
Yeah. And your gym, you and Steve have got a gym. Is that right together?
I've got a big organisation called MAAS, which is called the Martial Art All Stars, and it all started from me just getting fed up with politics within the martial arts, broke away from politics, and the only way I could do when I was a young and when I was Steve's age, I was a bit of a villain then. You know what I mean? When I say villain, I don't mean a criminal, but you know, if anybody not what I was doing, I used to say, well, put up or shut up.
Yeah.
That was my motto, put up or shut up. And the amount of people that know me in the martial arts know that. And my critics gradually died down.
Right.
And as I say, I am what I am today. I'm 72 years of age. I've got Stephen's a fighter now. He's a bloody good fighter. I'm worried about him a little bit because he's reaching his 40th birthday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's getting old and he's fighting younger guys. But he's still got it.
But you're still fighting at 72?
Oh yeah, but not like him.
No.
I mean, he's fighting and getting knocked about, and he's knocking people about, and they're knocking him about. But me, when I go into a fight, it's more like a semi-contact thing where we're not allowed to each other. But if my opponent gives me one back, I'll give me one back. So you do go in that ring and get a few knocks and bruises.
Yeah.
But it's not meant, you know. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. We spoke about charity with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, on the subject of children, I mean, how important is it for kids, young kids, to get into this as early as possible now?
It's very important. The trouble today, compared to my days, is the kids can't be kids anymore.
No.
Because I think they were all wrapped up in cotton wool. Parents can't do certain things, social workers can't do certain things, teachers can't do certain things, and the discipline's gone down the drain. And when I'm running my club, funny enough, because when the parents come along, they used to come along and drop their kids off and go and pick them up. Now they don't. They come along and they stay there because they'll make it fun. Yeah. And I go back to the old way. I always say if to go forward, you've got to go back. Bring back the 50s, bring back the 60s. And people say, oh, you should do cane them and cane them and cane them. I don't know. All I know, I got caned. And the teachers used to cane me. I didn't fear them. I loved them. Because they put me on the right road, man. You know what I mean? They said to me, you know, you're going to get 6 of the best. I've got 6 of the best, and I'll come out there sore. And if I went and told my old dad, he'd give me another one. And that was what we liked. But today it's all, you know, I'm going to tell mummy and daddy, you touch me, you point me, I'm going to take you to court, and all that rubbish.
What's your stance on? You said about the Martial Arts Federation that you. What is it?
It's just another organisation within the martial arts, and there's many of them. And we all try to do what we do, or the people that are in charge of the different associations, like they different promoters. I've got a thing called the BKBU, which is called the British Kickboxing Union, and I tried to help the amateurs to get to this stage that we see tonight. For example, I've got a thing called no win, no lose, which means you and I go in the ring, we'll have a fight together, and you'll get a trophy, I'll get a trophy. There's no win and no lose, so there's no pressure on you winning. No. There's no embarrassment on losing. It's just getting experience.
So it's good to gain experience.
Yeah.
And you're not classed as you.
That's right. And then when you go up the stage, I say, well, you're ready now. You're ready to go to the proper one. And I don't think many organisations do that. I think I'm the only organisation that actually does that. But then I've got the MMA, which the cage fighting to go down. We allow them to go down and do a submission, but we don't allow them to hit the face.
Right.
They can hit the body. So it takes away that ground and pound, and it gives them more encouragement of finding a technique which we're looking for, a submission technique.
Yeah.
So this is what I do. So Brian Dossett is different. I've always been different. I always will be different because I am pioneering new ideas all the time.
Yeah.
And I get knocked for it. But anybody that tries new ideas is entitled to make mistakes.
Well, I mean, you don't know until you try, do you?
That's right, but you try until the know-all's at.
Do you think with these federations, do you think there's starting to be a lot more that opening and people are trying to kind of make their club, got this organisation and keeping it? Do you think it's getting too many now?
Yeah, there's too many rivals at the moment. There's too many champions of this and too many champions of that. In the end, they're all Mickey Mouse champions. In my day, there was only 3 organisations and I was one of them. And, you know, the champions were champions, but now there's so many champions walking around.
You don't know who's
you don't know who belongs to.
You don't know who's the
so
heavy.
it's becoming a lot. Well, in actual fact, the governing body, there's no governing body for kickboxing in this country. People don't know that.
Right.
There's governing body for karate, kung fu, taekwondo and all the martial arts, but there's not one. There used to be one called BAFTA, British Amateur Full Contact Association, of which I was a member of.
Right.
But then that folded up. Through again, what's happening today is too many people jumping on the bandwagon, and the Sports Council said, "Look, we can't control this. This is getting ridiculous." So now where we are now is there would be no governing body. There is no governing body for kickboxing. So everybody governs themselves, including me.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your legacy? Obviously, is going to be with Steve, your gym, your federation that you've set up. These are things hopefully that Steve will carry on. You know, in the future.
Let me correct you there. No. It's not all about Steve, because Steve is his own man. What he makes himself, he makes himself. I will help out because of my name, obviously. But I'm in this for the martial artists of the country who join us. I will try to give them a service. Yeah. Now Stephen's got this problem of following my shadow. All right, and people tell us, "Oh, you're Brian Dossett, you're Brian Dossett's son," but he's Stephen Dossett.
Yeah.
I'm Brian Dossett.
He's built his own.
He is his own fighter. He is his own fighter. He's his own man. I will help him and guide him, and he knows he always wants me there. I'll always be around. I won't even call to him tonight. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll see him through. I'll be in his change room. I'll be there when he's down. I'll be there when he's up. Wow. But Stephen Dossett is his own man.
Take the martial arts and everything out of it. When it comes down to father and son, do you worry about him when he goes?
Oh, of course, I'm worried now. I mean, you know, he's knocking on 40. He's fighting somebody that knocked him down once in one round, and he got up and won that fight. I know he drew that fight, but I think he won that fight. And he's got a rematch again. He's got another one in a couple of weeks. He's got another one in a couple of weeks. He's on the go all the time. Yeah. Stephen don't mind who he fights. No. You know, as long as he wins well and loses well. Right. You know, but he doesn't like losing bad. In other words, he's had so many bad decisions against him that he knows he's won and it's gone against him. Yeah. That I've always said to my fighters that, you know, wherever you fight, remember, you might win the fight, but you might lose a decision. That's the fight game. Yeah. Take it on the chin. Yeah. That's how I do.
So was you training him as was he into
Oh, but he was a kid. I mean, you know, my grandchildren now are coming along nice and slowly, like him. His own son, Bradley, is coming along like him. But there's a lot of parents come up. I had one parent tonight saying to me, "Oh, his son's really, really into it, blah, blah, blah." And he's only 11 and 12. And I've said to his dad, "Well, be careful because he might outlive it." Yeah. And he said, "Oh, no, he won't." I said, "You can't say that. Parents can't say that. Kids do outlive their activity. Yeah. It's not what the parents want, it's what the kids want. But whatever they learn in whatever they do, whether it be kickboxing, football, whatever, the disciplines they learn within what they do will always contribute towards the rest of what they're going to do in life, no matter what it might be."
So, I mean, for example, if you've got two, say, 12-year-old kids, one's a lot better than the other one at mixed martial arts, that doesn't matter, it's the discipline.
It's the discipline and the getting in there, having a go and holding it out and say, "I lost and I lost well done to the opponent," and vice versa. In actual fact, I always teach my kids, if you actually win something but you know you lost, swap the trophies over.
So you can't say any fairer than that, really.
Well, no, it's teaching the kids to be fair to themselves and assessing themselves, you know. But again, who assesses the assessor? You know, I mean, I have to grade people up to their Dan grades, and I get people ringing up all the time. You know, I want to get my Dan grade. Can I go through you to get it? Blah blah blah. And I help them on the way. But I always say, remember, why me? Why are you picking me? Yeah. "Oh, because you've been in the game a long time." I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to assess you. Who assesses me?" And the only people that assessed me was other people in the organisation, because there was no governing bodies. Yeah. And they all assessed me and give me their diplomas from their organisation, honouring me from their organisation.
That's wrong then?
No, that's right, because they are honouring me with their organisation. But I wasn't happy with that. So I said I wanted to be recognised by a governing body. So I got the British Jiu-Jitsu Association recognising my grade, which they've done. Yeah. And I've got that. So I've got qualification from the governing bodies. I've got qualification for people that are not in the governing bodies, bearing in mind some of the people that are not in the governing bodies are much better than the governing bodies. Yeah. You know what I mean? All those kind of things you go. And I said, well, I've got a piece of everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're 72, as you said. Are you still learning now? Do you still learning things?
God's sake, yeah. I mean, my grandchild today told me I've done a few things wrong when I was teaching them gardening. He said, "You've done the wrong thing," and then we come back to Spain, and I fell off a ladder, and it was my fault, and he told me why, and he's only 15. Right. So yeah, of course we learn, we make mistakes. I mean, you know, as long as you can say, "I made a mistake," hands up, not hide behind it and try and blame somebody else. Yeah. You know, I mean that is the wrong way. Yeah. It's not easy to assess yourself and say, "Oh, I'm weak there, I'm wrong there, I'm no good at that," because it makes you work on your weaknesses. Bearing in mind your weaknesses like computer, for example, technology. I'm useless at it. The Facebook, my grandchildren put me on Facebook. I haven't got a clue how to use it. I've tried to use it, and I'm making so many balls up. It's unbelievable. But everybody laughs at it because they know Brian Dossett no good at technology. So they laugh rather than not me. They laugh about it. They say, "Oh, that's Brian Dossett. You know, he's no good at that." So
you're still active. People can come to your gym. You still.
Oh yeah, I'm fighting in 3 weeks' time. I'm fighting for Colchester. Stephen's fighting for the MMA title, and I'm fighting there as well. I'll be fighting a guy I think called David Bland or Jim Cochran, and I'll be doing my 3 rounds, and I'll be getting training up for it. Go for there.
Brian, it's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure
chatting to you. Thank you.
Right, God bless you.
God bless you.
Take care and look after each other.